This is the arch of the aorta. This is the arch of the aorta. The heart would be here. So this would be the start of the aorta. And coming off the aorta are three blood vessels. The brachiocephalic, the left common carotid, and the left subclavian. The brachiocephalic tells you what's going to happen. This is your brachium. This is cephalic. So the right common carotid and the right subclavian are going to be branches of the brachiocephalic. Does that make sense? Okay. So if we trace this out, we're not going to really see it in this model. There'll be other models where we see that. This is the descending aorta, thoracic. This is the descending aorta, abdominal. It just depends on the region. The region is determined by the diaphragm. So in here, we see the intercostal arteries and intercostal veins. And we don't see much else. We don't see much else. Once we get to the abdominal portion, okay, once we get to the abdominal portion, we see more. Inferior phrenic, as in diaphragm. Inferior phrenic. Now, these three arteries come off of the celiac trunk. Okay? And they are the common hepatic, the left gastric, and common hepatic, left gastric, splenic. Now, the splenic gives off branches to the pancreas. Okay? I would not ask you which one's from here. Okay? But it would depend on direction. I'm going to ask you on this board because it's much more apparent. Then we have the superior mesenteric and the inferior mesenteric. We have the renal artery and vein and the suprarenal artery and vein. And the renal artery breaks up into segmental arteries. The renal artery breaks up into segmental arteries. There are no segmental veins. Okay. So this would be the renal artery. Okay. That would not be a segmental artery, vein. That would not be a segmental vein. That would be an interlobar. And then this is the suprarenal or adrenal artery. That's the adrenal vein. Where the abdominal aorta ends, it is now the common iliacs. If something is common, it's going to break up into some other things. It's going to break up into the internal iliacs and the external iliacs. The external iliac becomes the femoral after passing under the inguinal ligament. Okay? The external iliac becomes the femoral after passing under the inguinal ligament. Now, this is the superior vena cava. Okay. This is the subclavian. This is the jugular. Where they come together, it is the brachiocephalic vein. Okay. And notice, okay, that brachiocephalic over here is going to be very, very small because it's entering on the right side. Whereas this has to go all the way over to the right side. So it's going to be longer. Okay? Okay? Everybody with me? Okay.